عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Okay, there were some people just making noise there, but there were some who say the salams. So, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Very happy to see you all. We are here back on story night, Seerah night. Now, today we are covering part number 5. We've come very far and now we are on the 5th part. And in part 5, inshallah, tonight we will cover the story of the cloth. There'll be something about the cloth and we'll have to find out what that is. And tonight we'll cover the story of an evil king. Who is this king and what will he do in his evil deeds? And tonight we'll cover the town of new Muslims. There's a whole town that will become Muslims. Which town is it? Is it Nairobi, Mombasa? Which town? So let us start by reviewing what we covered last time. In part 4, last time when we were here in part 4, we covered the story of Shayba. You remember Shayba? Who they called him Abdul Muttalib, and he came to Mecca to be taught the two responsibilities of providing food and water to the Hujjaj. Time passed and Abdul Muttalib grew up and became a grown man by himself, and he had a son. What was the name of his son? Harith. Harith was his son. So he had his son Harith, and one night when he went to sleep, he had a dream. The next night he had a dream. The third night he had a dream, and the fourth night he had a dream. And what was the dream telling him? The dream was telling him, go to this place where there is ants and there is a crow, and you dig there and you'll find Zamzam. And when he went there and he dug, he found Zamzam. Then there was a conflict. The people of Makkah said, hey, this water is ours. And he said, no, I'm the one who found it. Then there was a conflict. Abdul Muttalib, he said, if only I had more sons. If I had more sons, I would be able to fight them and keep this water for myself. Then he made a promise. What was his promise? Yes, he said, oh Allah, if you give me 10 sons, I will sacrifice one of them for you. Then they decided, how do we solve this conflict? They say the only way we can solve it is to go to the witch. So they went to the witch, and what happened? They got lost in the desert. And they ran out of water, and they were about to die of starvation and thirst. So they decided everyone should dig their grave and prepare for death. Abdul Muttalib, he couldn't sit there, and he stood up and he stepped on his grave trying to come out. He felt that it was wet. Then he started digging. When he dug, he found water, and he knew he was able to give the people water. And then the people said, you know what, Abdul Muttalib, Zamzam is all yours. You found Zamzam in Mecca and you are finding water in your grave. It must be a sign. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed Abdul Muttalib with more children. A lot more children. He had 14 boys and 4 girls. Then he remembered his promise. His promise was, Allah, if you give me 10 sons, I will sacrifice one for you. Then the question was, who from the 10 boys would he choose? So they decided to draw arrows and pull arrows and see one with an X mark, that's the person to be sacrificed. And the name that came was Abdullah. The people said, wait, you can't do that. You can't sacrifice your child. If you do that, other people will start doing it. And then the witch said there might be a solution. She said, how much do you pay when you accidentally kill someone? How much do you pay? They said 10 camels. Then she said, draw arrows, throw arrows. And every time the arrow falls on Abdullah, add 10 camels. So they threw the arrows and added 10 and another 10 and another 10 until it reached 100 camels. And from that day until today, the penalty for killing a person is how many? 100 camels. Now, we start today's story. And today, our story goes in a completely different direction. Today, we go to Yemen. We go to Yemen in our story. And in Yemen, there was a king. This king, his name was Thabban Asad. What was his name? Thabban Asad was the king of Yemen. And one day, him and his son decided to travel. They said, we want to travel to Gaza in the north, the Sham. So they went traveling until they reached the town of Medina. At that time, it was called Yathrib. So they reached Yathrib, and as they were waiting there in Yathrib, the king wanted to continue, but his son said that, I want to remain here. How about you go, and on your way back, we go back together. So the father said, okay, son, you stay here. King continued. King went to Asham and did his business there. But what happened? In Medina, his son got into an argument. And then they said, hey, you here? Boom, boom, boom. They killed the king's son. The prince was killed. The prince of Yemen was killed in Medina, Yathrib. When the king came back, oh my God, the king was so upset. He said, I am going to destroy this whole town. There'll be no more Yathrib. Finish this whole town. 2 Jewish priests came from Yathrib. Came and met the king. And they told the king, oh king, this is a special town. Do not destroy it. The Jews themselves were there waiting for a prophet to come. They said, this is a special town. Do not destroy it. So the king agreed, and he liked these people, and he told them, come with me, let's travel back to Mecca. And then when they traveled back to Mecca, the Jewish priests went back to the king and said, you know what, king? This town is also a special town. What you should do, you should go inside and make tawaf around the Kaaba. The king went in.
Yes, rebuilt by Ibrahim and Ismail. Ever since then, people have been coming to Mecca.
So, do you notice something about the Kaaba? The Kaaba did not have a clock on. Back at that time, the Kaaba was just rocks, like any other building. But when the king saw the Kaaba, and he liked the way the people talked to him about the Kaaba, he was the first person to put the cloth on the Kaaba. Thabban Asad was the first person to put the cloth on the Kaaba. And what's the name of this cloth? It's called the Kiswa. And every year, he would send people to put new clothes onto the Kaaba. I have a question. Do you know of any building that wears a cloth? Do you know of any building that has a cloth all the time? I've tried to find, yes? Kaaba. I couldn't find any. So the Kaaba is the only building, a rock-made building, that wears a cloth. Now they went back to Yemen, and now Yemen had a new religion. Because the Jewish people at that time were following the teachings of Isa alayhi salam, so they were saying, worship one God. Now, Thabban Asad was the king. And as time passed, Thabban Asad as the king died. There was a new king who came up. New king of Yemen. This king, his name was Dhu Nawas. What was his name? Dhu Nawas. Now, Dhu Nawas was not a good king. He used to use magicians. Hocus pocus, hocus. And he used to say, I am God. I can do this. And he tells magician, hey, do that. Cheating people with their eyes.
This pain once again. It must be the end. I must go to the king and tell him. Your Majesty, I have become very old and sick now, and I fear that all my secrets and knowledge will die with me. So I came to ask you to send one of your fellow men with me.
Magician, I will send with you a boy, but you should make sure that he will not use what he will learn against us in the future.
For that, we should choose a clever and honest one who will be extremely loyal to you.
So the king used to use magicians to cheat people. And then what the king did was he had his special magician, the one who knew the most of magic. But this old, he was getting very old, and he felt that his knowledge will pass away with him. So he said, let's get a young boy who will be able to teach him magic. So this boy will be the new magician of the king. So the magician started teaching him. Hey boy, come here. This is what you do. If you want to cheat people and show them this, you mix this and do hocus pocus, hocus pocus. A lot of rubbish. But the magician used to do this. And magic in Islam is not allowed. So the boy lessons continued. He kept coming every day to learn from the magician. The boy would travel all the way from his house, come to a magician friend, learn a lot of rubbish, and go back home. This was the routine of the boy every day, because the old magician had to train the boy very fast so he can learn all the skills. One night, as the boy was traveling, he heard something different.
Oh God, who created everything, donated life to everything, the provider of everything. Everything prostrates to you. There's no God but you. Glory be to you, God. You created me and I'm your slave, fulfilling my promise to you as much as I can. Who's there? Tell me, what brought you here, boy?
What are you doing here?
Worshipping God.
You say God?
God. God is the creator of me and you and everything.
Where is he?
Allah is above the heavens, seated on the throne in a manner that benefits His majesty and greatness.
Why do you worship God?
Because God orders us to do that, as He creates people and jinn to worship Him. But the devil deluded us, and after that, people followed him.
And who is this devil?
He is God's enemy, who always asks people to disobey the Creator.
And where did you learn all this?
God had inspired the messengers, prophets, to guide us to the right path by His great will.
Messengers?
Yes, Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, may peace be upon them all, and the others.
Oh, too bad I'm running late. Your words are very strange and I'd never heard them before. Can I please pass by you tomorrow?
So this boy was very clever. He heard someone speaking and praying in a different way. So he would ask him very clear questions. What are you doing? Who is God? Where is God? Where is Allah? Why do you worship Allah? Where did you get this message? He was very clever, learning all this. And so as he was going home, every day he would come to the Shaykh and learn. But when he reached home, his parents would be upset. Why are you late? And then in the morning when he goes to the priest to learn, to the magician would tell him, why are you late? Because he would go one lesson in the morning and one lesson in the afternoon. The boy started thinking,
There should be a creator for this universe. Oh God, the creator of mountains, trees, and birds. I'm very confused between the monk and the magician. Which one do you really prefer?
So he's now getting to a place where he's confused. The magician is doing things and it looks like, wow. And the old man, the sheikh, is telling him, Allah is like this, and Allah is the one who created you, and it makes sense. So he's confused. So he started to talk. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him aside.
What happened? Why are you running so fast? What's wrong?
A great lion I have never seen before. It's scary and it's blocking the road. Get away or it will kill you. Get away!
Today I'll know who's better, the magician or the monk.
I have never seen a lion like this before.
Stay away, little boy! What is he doing? Isn't he frightened?
Oh God, I must know who do you prefer. So if you love the monk more than the magician, help me kill this animal.
He killed the lion.
He killed it with only this stone.
The boy has saved us from the lion.
I thank God. I thank God. I testify that there's no God worthy worship but Allah.
So the boy was looking for a sign. He was confused. Which one is right, the magician or the sheikh? And then when he saw the situation of the animal, he took a rock and he said, "Oh Allah, if you prefer the magician, if you prefer the sheikh, the old man, then kill this animal." And with a small rock, he killed the animal. The boy had reached a high level of Iman. And whenever you reach a high level of Iman, there will come a test.
Listen, my son. Know that you are now on the path of the messengers of God, and someday you will surely be tested. When faith gets stronger in the heart of the all believers, God tests his faith to strengthen his belief, and I'm beginning to see the signs of faith on you. And I can see that you will be tested, and when you are, don't tell anyone about my place.
So the sheikh saw that this boy has reached a high level of Iman, and he told him, "Listen, you're following the path of the messengers, and the messengers get tested. And I see signs in you that you will surely be tested." And he told him, "When you get tested, don't mention my name." Because the sheikh was doing his dawah and he did not want to become public. He wanted to continue with his dawah, so his dawah is not stopped. Here's a question. Why was the boy tested? And why are we tested? Why do we go through tests? Let's explain it in video game terms. What's the latest PlayStation? PS2, right? Huh? 5, not PS2. Did they jump PS3 and 4 and they went to 5? Or there was PS3 and 4? There was. Okay, so let's assume you've got your dad bought you the latest PS5. And in that PS5 there was a game, and in that game all you had to do is just press X. You know, there was no challenge, there was no obstacles, just press forward and you continue playing the game. Will that be an interesting game or a boring game? Very boring, because nothing is changing, you're just pressing that. But what do they do when they make games? They put a challenge. They make it a bit difficult. And you fail the first time, but you try it again and you fail. So you're kind of going through tests in the game. And what happens when you complete a test? You get a level up. You unlock more features. You get more powers. You know? You reach high levels and the levels get harder and harder each time. And then you unlock the greatest levels. You reach level 10 and plus. This is the same concept in us. We are tested so that we can unlock new features in ourselves, that inshallah we get unlocking higher and higher levels in Jannah. So the boy's test came in the form of the friend of the king. Oops, missed that there.
I don't want fruits now. Bring me something to drink fast, or I will kill you all.
Yes, sire, right away.
You have sent for me, sire?
Yes, I need you for something important. Huh? You can see?
Yes, sir. And thank God for this.
What? Yes. It seems that I have brought back sight to you. You know, I was somehow happy last night.
It is God who brought it back. My God and the God of everything.
Do you worship a god other than me?
You are not a god to be worshipped. You're just as weak as I.
I am weak? I'll show you my strength. Hey, guards! Seize him and torture him.
Oh!
I want to know who had taught them these words, and then bring him before me.
So what had happened? The king's friend was blind, and he heard that this boy is doing miracles. So the king's friend went to the boy and told him, if you give me my sight, I will give you treasures. But then the boy said, I don't give anyone sight. It is Allah who heals people. So the king's friend said, yes, it's true. The king has no power, and they all prayed to Allah, and Allah gave him his sight. So when he came to the king noticed that he could see. And then the king is like, it was me, right? Last night I was happy, I gave you sight. He said, no. So now the king was so upset, and he wants to find out what is this new thing happening in his town that people are saying there is only one God. So the king was extremely angry, and he decided to torture them. First, he tortured his friend. He tortured his friend so much, and his friend tried to not say anything. But when the pain became too much, his friend said, it was the boy. Then the guards came and grabbed the boy, and they started telling him, who's teaching you this? Who's teaching you this? And the boy said, he kept quiet, he did not say anything. And they tortured him even more for days and days, until the boy could not bear the pain anymore. Then the boy said, it was the sheikh. So now the king came to the source. So the king wanted to stop this religion from spreading.
So you're behind all this. You escaped me in the past, but now you will not get away. Unless you disavow this religion and announce to the public that I am the God.
You know that you are not a god. You can't create or heal anyone. I will never disavow my religion, no matter what you do to me. This is the only true religion.
Kill him! Kill him and my companion!
So the king tried to scare the sheikh, but the sheikh said no, it's very brave and strong. So the king said the way to solve this problem is to kill his friend and to kill the sheikh. Now the king was left to deal with the boy. The king was left to deal with the boy.
You are still young to die. Follow me, and I'll make you my close associate.
I call on you to follow me.
What? You want me to become a servant to your god? No! Guards! Take him and throw him from the mountaintop. I don't want to hear of him anymore.
So the king noticed that the boys become famous. So he said, maybe if this boy starts to follow me, I'll be able to convince everyone again that I'm God. But the boy told him, no, you follow me and worship Allah. And the king got even more upset. He told his guards, hey, take him and throw him from the mountain. So they tried to kill him by throwing him from the mountain.
Get on! Throw the boy!
Oh Allah, prevent them from hurting me as you wish.
Run away! Run away!
Praise be to God for answering my prayer. And now I have to go back to the king. I have to finish what I've started.
You? You once again? No, you must be a demon.
I've come here to call you again, to stop your oppression, and call the people to worship the one Almighty Allah.
So the boy came back. You might ask, why did he come back? He made dua and Allah made an earthquake happen in the mountain and the soldiers fell and he survived. You might ask why? Because he knew if he doesn't go back, the king will start telling the people again that he is God and shirk will continue. And the boy's iman was so high, you remember he's unlocked new features in his heart. So he could not stand for this falsehood. So the boy continued, went back to the king and told him, you have to worship Allah. The king was upset and he said, for the king it's not a problem. The guards died, send more guards. Hey soldiers, take him now. The king decided to throw him now from the deep ocean.
Take him and tie him up, and then throw him in the middle of the sea.
Will they be able to kill him?
If he survives, I will follow him.
Stop. Go on. Get rid of it.
Right away, sir.
Oh God, prevent them from hurting me as you wish.
They reached the middle of the ocean. The boy, the small boy, surrounded with soldiers, had one weapon. What was his weapon? Dua. He said, oh Allah, take care of them as you wish. The boat started shaking and all the soldiers fell. Again, the boy had an opportunity to run away. But remember, his heart is strong. He's unlocked new features. He went back to the sheep, to the king. And the boy wanted now for the whole town. Every time this was happening, it was happening in the king's castle. Now the boy wanted the whole town to see that the king is truly not.
You won't be able to kill me unless you do what I tell you.
Oh, which is what?
To gather all the people and take an arrow from my quiver. Then say, in the name of Allah.
Gather the people. I will personally kill this lad. The people will see that King Dunawas is invincible.
The boy gave him a formula of how to kill him. The boy told him, no matter what you do, it will not work. The only way for you to kill me is you call everyone and you take an arrow from my quiver and you say, Bismillah, in the name of Allah, the Lord of the boy. That's the only way you'll be able to kill me. So the king said, everyone, come to the town tomorrow. Everyone come out. So the soldiers went and called everyone, get out, get out, get out. They all came together in an open place. And the king says, today I will finish this and I will show everyone that I am God.
I will not say a word of what he told me. I am the best archer in the city. Die, you little lad! Impossible! The arrow missed him. I'll try another. Huh?
You will fail.
This is impossible!
Then you say, in the name of Allah.
In the name of Allah! He is dead! The lad is dead! I have killed him! This is for everyone to know who is Dunawas, the god!
The king invoked the lad's god.
The lad was right. Dunawas is not a god, he's a tyrant. We believe in Allah. We believe in Allah. We believe in Allah. We believe in
The king had one plan and Allah had another plan. First he said, I will not say anything. I will just kill him. But he saw arrows and arrows and arrows and everyone saying, he can't do it. And then when he said, Bismillah, he was then able to kill the boy. But now everyone had seen that this king is truly not a king, not a god. He only had to say Bismillah to kill the boy. So then the people started having Iman. They started saying that truly he is not a king, he is not a god. Then the whole town became Muslim. Everyone in there started saying, we believe in Allah. They saw that definitely Dunawas is not a god. This made Dunawas even more angry and more upset. But the Iman of the people was high. What happens when your Iman goes really high? What happens? You unlock new features and then you get tested. So it was time for the people to test it. The king ordered a trench full of fire.
And throw everyone who follows the lad's religion into those pits! Kill them!
The soldiers dug the pits and finally,
I will not deny my religion. I believe in Allah, the God of the lad.
My poor child. Do I leave him to die? My mother! Prove that you are right!
So they went through a very difficult test. The test was very, very difficult. The king ordered a huge fire pit. And he got so much firewood. And the fire was so hot. And everyone was told, is Dunawas God? They said, no, we believe in Allah. Then they would throw them in the fire. But the people, their Iman was so strong. They could see the fire and they would say the fire of hell is hotter. And they stuck by their guns and they stuck to their principles. And they said, Dunawas is not God. Everyone was giving the Shahada. And every time they gave the Shahada, they were thrown in the fire. And then came one mother with babies. The first child was thrown. The second one was thrown. The last baby, an infant. The mother, you know how the love of the mother, the way the mothers love you. The mother loved the child so much that the mother was not prepared to throw the child in. And then Allah brought another miracle, that the child spoke. There's only 3 children who have spoke when they were infants. We know of Isa alayhi salam. This is the second one, and there is one more. A miracle of the prophets happened to that mother. The child said, Mother, you are on the right path. and the mother with the child jumped into the fire. The whole town believed in Islam. They did not give up their religion. And we had the miracle of the baby talking. These people deserve the highest levels in Jannah, Al-Firdaus. Just imagine, just imagine, just imagine unlocking level 10 in your Iman. Imagine Jannah, a place where there is no tiredness, there is no harm, there is no hunger, there is no tiredness. Everything is easy in Jannah. Angels are there to serve you. Just imagine. Trees, the shade of which takes a horse 500 years. You would have a tree maybe from Egypt to South Africa, the size of the tree, the shade of that tree. Just imagine. Imagine Jannah, river of milk. No more cows to give you milk. Just go to the river and swim in milk if you want. Just imagine Jannah. Fruits of all kinds. Trees bending down to give you their fruits. Just imagine Jannah. This was the result of their tests, inshallah. One man escaped. One man escaped the torture, and he went to report this to a powerful king. He went to report this to someone who can take revenge, to do Nawas. And oh no, we have to stop here. Unfortunately, we've reached the end of today's part. I know, we have to continue, but unfortunately, we have to stop here. Now, two main lessons we get from tonight's story. Are you ready? How many lessons? Two main lessons. Are you ready? Lesson number one. Lesson number one. Always do good. Always find opportunities to do good. Tabban Asad, the king, when he came and he saw that the Kaaba is a special place and it does not have a cloth, what did he do? He put a cloth over the Kaaba. This was a good deed. And guess what? He used to do this every year. Every year, Tabban Asad would get a new piece of cloth to cover the Kaaba. And for over 1,500 years, this tradition continues until today. Until today, once a year, the cloth of the Kaaba is changed. Following the example of who? Tabban Asad. Imagine the rewards he's getting. Lesson number two. Are you ready? Lesson number two. If you need help, ask who? If you need help, ask who? Allah. The boy was a very small boy. And he was dealing with who? A very tyrant king. A king that used to kill people. A king that killed even his friend. And a king who had soldiers. And what did he decide? He decided to throw him from the river, from the mountain. What did the boy do? What did the boy do on the mountain? He asked Allah for help. He asked Allah for help, and what happened? Allah answered his prayer. And their plan failed. The plan of the king failed. And the king decided, no, I will kill him. And he decided, we'll take him to the ocean and throw him from the ocean. What did the boy do? What did the boy do when he was in the middle of the ocean? He asked Allah for help. And again the plan failed of the king. So, if we need help, who do we ask for help? Allah. It is as simple as saying, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, help me. Ya Allah, I'm suffering from this. Ya Allah, I'm finding this difficult. ask Allah for help. Now, next time on Seerah night, next time someone will be deceived by someone. Next time on Seerah night, someone will be deceived by someone. Next time on Seerah night, a beautiful building will be spoiled. Which building is this and how will they spoil it? Next time on Seerah night, the elephants will travel north. Well, and birds would fly south. Next time on Seerah night. Next time on Seerah night, a building will be saved. And inshallah, join us on the end of November, on the 26th of November, on Saturday, for the next part in Seerah. And now, it's quiz time. So get your devices and go to kahoot.it. Kahoot.it.
Are you still fucking